Good morning, good morning. I hope that you were able to go back and start to read the story of Joseph. If you did not, take some time and read that story so that you can grasp the entire concept of what God is teaching us this week. Now I'm gonna jump over to Genesis 39 verses 1 to 4. Let us see what happens next. Remember when we ended off yesterday that Joseph was sold into slavery, and when Joseph was taken to Egypt by the Ishmaelite traders, he was purchased by Potiphar, an Egyptian officer. Potiphar was captain of the guard for Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. The Lord was with Joseph, so he succeeded in everything he did as he served in the home of his Egyptian masters. Potiphar noticed this and realized that the Lord was with Joseph, giving him success in everything he did. This pleased Potiphar, so he soon made Joseph his personal attendant. He put him in charge of his entire household and everything he owned. It is starting to come up again, isn't it? It's starting to look a little better right about now. And if you realize, Joseph is still serving. He's still being faithful. He's still obviously seeking and obeying the Lord, because even Potiphar, who does not worship the same God as Joseph, Potiphar is seeing the hand of God in his life. And so as we go through the purposes and our life, at every junction, we are to remain faithful, because even the purpose has pieces. There are pieces, it's like a puzzle, and it fits together, and we are to remain faithful at every junction. So now he's in charge of the entire household. But let us see what happens next. Let's go on down to verses 12 all the way to 19. Let's see what happens. She came and grabbed him by his cloak, demanding, "Come on, sleep with me." Joseph tore himself away, but he left his cloak in her hand as he ran from the house. When he saw that she was holding his cloak and had fled, she called out to her servants. Soon all the men came running. "Look," she said, "my husband has brought this Hebrew slave here to make fools of us. He came into my room to rape me, but I screamed. When he heard me scream, he ran outside and got away, but he left his cloak behind with me." She kept the cloak with her until her husband came home. Then she told him her story. "That Hebrew slave you brought into our house tried to come in and fool around with me," she said. "But when I screamed, he ran outside, leaving his cloak with me." Potiphar was furious when he heard his wife's story about how Joseph had treated her. So he took Joseph and threw him into the prison where the king's prisoners were held, and there he remained. Story is going down again. This is what I'm talking about, God's plan. And it may look as if he's not fulfilling the purposes in our lives when things start to go sour. Now, this was all on Potiphar's wife. Joseph refused to sleep with her. Joseph refused to disobey God. He remained faithful to God, but still this happened. This can happen in our lives too. Let's take a closer look and see what happens next. But the Lord was with Joseph in the prison and showed him his faithful love. And the Lord made Joseph a favorite with the prison warden. Before long, the warden put Joseph in charge of all the other prisoners and over everything that happened in the prison. The warden had no more worries because Joseph took care of everything. The Lord was with him and caused everything he did to succeed. Serve the Lord with gladness. No matter what happens, our purposes in life are never derailed. No matter the opposition, no matter the challenges, serve the Lord with faithfulness and with gladness, and allow him to work out the plan and the purpose and everything else and everyone else that will come into our path to hinder us. This is the note that we're ending on with Joseph. He's in prison, but he's serving and he's gaining favor. Let's continue tomorrow. God bless you.